guys, welcome back to my channel where we discuss popular mainstream music. And yes guys, I am back. I will be regularly uploading videos, so definitely don't forget me. Check me out. I know I've had a hiatus, but I'm back. And in this video, we're here to discuss popular modern mainstream artists now that are getting the most hate. I really wanted to do this video because lately I've been seeing this pattern of heavy criticism coming from the critics, the think piecers, the YouTubers online, and there's just been all these things going on with a certain artist doing something, and I felt like a lot of it sometimes is unfair. A lot of these artists I'm going to name don't really deserve it, or at least I don't believe they deserve it. So let's get into this real quick, guys. Artists that are getting the most hate right now. Now, before we get into that, if you enjoyed the little snippet of music in the beginning of this video, that is my single, guys. I'm a music artist, okay? The song is called Depression. It's out on Spotify and Apple Music, all music streaming platforms, as well as TikTok and YouTube. All you gotta do is type my name, Sam Dolphin, and all my music will pop up. Definitely support my music, guys. If you enjoyed, I'd really appreciate the support. I'm a music artist too, and I love it when you guys support my music, so definitely check it out. So getting into the video, okay, music artists of today that get the most hate, okay, I'm gonna be listing a few music artists, and you know, you guys might think there are artists that deserve to be on the list, but this is just what I think, based off of the fact that, one, I just don't feel like these artists deserve it, and they've been recently getting so much hate from it, okay, so much hate. So let's get into the list. So the first artist that I believe is getting so much hate that's undeserved is Megan Thee Stallion, okay? Megan Thee Stallion, okay? This is the first one on the list, okay? And the hate that Megan gets is a lot, okay? One, she gets a lot of hate from the community, okay, because of the issue with Tory Lanez, okay? That's been a big issue with her getting hate. I also remember, I've been paying attention to Megan's career since the beginning, and the hate even started even before the Tory Lanez. Actually, in my opinion, it started when she wanted to detach herself from Carl Crawford, okay, and his label, okay? That's when she started getting a lot of hate from people, when they saw her detaching. So she gets that hate. She also gets hate for her rapping, okay? Megan's a really fast rapper, a freestyle rapper. And people try to say she has the same flow, which I don't believe at all.
Y'all be doing hit ain't stopping shit. I don't need to watch for me to let him know what time it is. You grown now. I ain't doing nothing that your mama did. Never gave a fuck like I ain't never broke my hymen. I rock Louis slippers cause I'm always out here sliding. Ayy, she say I'm a hoe because a nigga on my body. Guess I got 'em mad cause a hoe like me be shining. Ayy, I'ma take this bitch, I ain't scared of shit. Yes, thick girls can't take dick. I don't really fuck with none of y'all. Y'all can miss me with that handshake shit. Fucked up. Like what's up? When I walk in, put your cups up. I'm with the nigga with the big pockets or the bad bitch with the big butt. Hot girl, I be playing dope because these niggas be lame-o.
But she gets hate for her rapping skills, the really good one. So this is what she's getting a lot of her hate on. People hate on her character. They try to paint a character of her that she's malicious, that she's the reason Tory Lanez, you know, and people also try to come for her. The Barbs, you know, with the issues with Nicki, you know, that huge fan base. And, you know, her rapping skills, okay? People try to come for her for that. And the reason why people give Megan so much hate is because Megan's a huge threat in the hip-hop industry. And I say this because the hip-hop industry is very male-driven. So everything caters to men, okay? And they're used to dealing with women in a more objective way, basically in a way that they can control women, okay? You're just this naked girl, sexy girl in the music video. You know, you are this particular rapper with a particular skin tone of a particular type, rapping about how to please a man. Like, everything is about catering to a man, and they want women that they can control. Hip-hop is very male-dominated. So when a rapper like Megan comes in the game, who, one, can really rap, and I think that's why people hate on her rapping, because it's actually really good. She can rap, she can freestyle, and she's very detached from the powers that be, the men, okay? Remember Carl Crawford and the label? She detached from that really quickly, and that's when she started getting a lot of hate. The Tory Lanez situation, okay? Which she didn't even call the cops, somebody else did, and they had to get into the situation. But the culture witnessing a woman, a female, detaching herself from a man, okay, even a black man, and stepping on her own independence and getting her own justice is honestly, sad to say, is very triggering to the community. They're used to men getting away with these types of stuff, especially when it comes to our culture, the black community. Okay, so seeing a woman stand in her power, get her justice, okay, call out this man for this abusive behavior as a black woman herself, okay, a brown-skinned black woman who's supposed to be on the bottom total pole, is not supposed to gain respect, and she's over here rapping, having her own career, detaching from labels that tried to control her, gaining her own independence, you know, speaking about men in a very dominant way where she's in control. These types of things are very intimidating to the culture of hip-hop. She doesn't play into the pick-me game. Oh, I'm just, you know, the cute light-skinned woman that everyone loves, and you know, I'm just gonna play into these men's ego and do what they want and they like. No, she runs her thing by her own. And that independence is very intimidating in a male-dominated space. So that's why I feel like Megan gets a lot of hate. On top of her independence and her ability to detach from men and not play those games, she's also a really talented rapper. So people try to put their hate by trying to downplay her rapping. Oh, she has the same flow. Oh, but when really she changes her flow so much, she has so many different rhythms. That's what makes her a great rapper. What I would say is that she has like the same cadence, you know, like the same tone, but not the same flow. Those are different things. Megan switches up her flow so many times. There's so many different songs. You gotta listen. But because she's talented and independent from the male patriarchy, the male control in the hip-hop community, this gets her so much hate. And because she's gotten her rightful justice from Tory Lanez, she gets so much hate. There's a lot of misogyny in the culture, the misogynoir, okay? That is colorism and misogyny together. A lot in the hip-hop community. And seeing her prevail, win, and have so much talent. This talent helps her to be independent from men writing her own raps and trying to control her career. Megan clearly controls her own career, does what she wants. This is very intimidating to the male-dominated culture, and I feel like this is what gets so much hate. But she triggers people, and I feel like Megan was manifested to challenge the hip-hop community and its male dominance. And this idea of women can only be represented if they're submissive and light-skin tone. She completely crushed that narrative. And so has others, and we're going to get into them. But she completely crushed that narrative, and I think that's very triggering. Megan doesn't deserve this because Megan didn't even call the cops on Tory Lanez. It was actually done by the people who heard the gunshots. It was proven in the courts. There is proof. And the stories from the people opposing this are always changing it up. First it's they didn't, then it's Kelsey did, then it never really got shot. I mean, they change the stories up so much and they try to paint her character as this evil person when really she is a person who is strong, independent, and getting her justice, which she rightfully deserves. And a lot of black women in general deserve. Okay, and on top of that, she's incredibly talented. That's another reason why I don't understand the hate that she's getting. She's very talented. Also, she was the only female rapper that was able to challenge Nicki Minaj. Her diss track really had Nicki in a spiral, and that is a hard thing to do as a rapper. So a rapper in her level to do that to Nicki, to get her spiraling, really triggered the Barbs, really clearly triggered Nicki. And this is why she gets so much hate, because she's not only a threat in this male-dominated culture, but also this female light-skin-dominated culture. And I feel like that really has people really intimidated by Meg, but it's like, you should appreciate this instead. But of course they're giving her the hate. All props to Megan. She's doing really well, and nothing's really gonna stop her. I saw her at her tour, the Hot Girl Summer Tour, absolutely amazing, and she really doesn't deserve this hate. It's so sad that black women can't get their justice. They're always rigged, okay? They're always being villainized, okay? But Megan's going to conquer through. She has a lot of fans and support, and God as well too. So I pray for her, and I hope I know she's gonna keep continuing and doing her thing, and that's why I love her. She's so powerful. The next artist that gets a lot of hate that is undeserved is Benson Boone. Okay, Benson Boone has been getting a lot of hate, especially from his community. Okay, a lot of people, okay, a lot of the white culture has been rejecting him, specifically, mainly. And he gets hate on his style, his flips, his artistry, his performance, his personality. That's the hate he gets on, okay? And people say it's not genuine, okay? They say he's not being genuine and he's not being true to himself, and he's copying this and he's copying Freddie Mercury and he's copying Harry Styles. Now, the reason I truly believe Benson Boone is getting all this hate is not really because he's copying. Okay, plenty of people have, cosplayed Freddie Mercury, David Bowie, we've seen it with Lady Gaga, and we've even seen it with Harry Styles, okay? And also, I believe one of the reasons is because I think a lot of the Harry Styles fans are threatened by Benson Boone. Not that Harry Styles needs to be threatened, not that he holds a threat to Harry Styles' career or anything like that, because that's not true. But I think their fans are triggered to seeing some of the similarities. Also, Benson Boone, in his lane, he's actually a really good singer.
I just sleep. It's like I buried my faith with you. I'm screaming at the God I don't know if I believe in, 'cause I don't know what else I can.
A really good performer. A lot of people cannot touch him on stage, like just calling it out how it is. People cannot touch him on stage. Arguably, even Harry Styles. Like, Harry Styles, amazing music, amazing career, very successful. But when it comes to performance, Benson Boone is on a whole different level. Benson Boone can sing, he can perform, he has a lot of, he's very charismatic, lots of personality, the flips, the energy, the athleticism. He's just on a whole different level, and because they see similarities to him with Harry Styles, a lot of his fans are triggered than him, and it causes a lot of hate. People are triggered by these artists. You're gonna see the pattern in the list. It's not that these people really have good, legit reasons to hate. They're triggered. So I think a lot of the hate from him, it comes from triggered Harry Styles fans who don't like seeing someone similar to him doing it really, really, really well. Okay? Another thing with the Freddie Mercury stuff, okay, and the music, his criticism, a lot of people actually compared it to the criticism that Nickelback got a lot, okay, because of the music. The music is very nice, fun music. It's not edgy or crazy or anything. It's just, I don't know, people are critiquing his music and they're saying it's mid, it's not so good. I like some of his songs. I'm not like crazy for it, but I don't think they're bad. Some of his songs are actually good. I think the Slow Down is actually a really good song. I actually really like that song, actually. Slow Down's a really good song. And Beautiful Stranger, Beautiful People, I think, is it, damn, I wish I knew what the name of the song, but it's his biggest hit. It's a hit for a reason. I mean, it's not my favorite song. Again, Slow Down to me is a great, slow it down. That song is so good. It's not, but the Beautiful Stranger? I don't remember, but that popular song from him, it's a hit for a reason. Even if it's not my favorite song, it's a hit for a reason. Obviously, people resonated with it. So you see the fans, you see the audience. It doesn't correlate to the hate that he's getting online. Okay, and again, I just feel like people are triggered by his talent. People are triggered that he's actually really good. And if his music gets better, he's going to be unstoppable. He's going to be unstoppable, really. And I think that him being a male pop star also triggers what people are used to. People are used to Justin Bieber, Harry Styles, and now they're seeing him and they feel threatened by how talented he is. I just feel like people are really threatened by his talent and his potential. And it triggers them because they have their own their own people that they fan that they're hanging on to. And they're threatened by him. So I just feel like all of this hate is coming by the fact that people are just threatened by how good and talented he is. Okay, saying he's copying Well, people take inspiration all the time. Michael Jackson's the greatest, and he took inspiration by a lot of people. People take inspiration. Jumpers and overalls was not invented by Harry Styles, nor was even invented by Freddie Mercury. And I think he does a good job sending credit to Freddie Mercury and performing at a really good level. I mean, like, we want talent and we get talent, and this is how we treated it. Makes no sense. The hate is because people are kind of triggered by his talent, and that is my conclusion with that. The next artist who gets a lot of hate, modern artist who gets a lot of hate, who does not deserve it, is Doechii, the amazing, talented Doechii. Okay, now Doechii, the hate that she gets, she gets hate for her attitude, her character. This is a common thing they do with black women, is they create a narrative about your character and they say you're mean and evil, blah, 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 blah. Meanwhile, other demographics are literally doing the same thing and worse, and no one's batting an eye. For an example, when she was going to Met Gala and people were calling her a diva because she needed the umbrellas, and I think she was calling on her assistant, which she wasn't even yelling loud. It was like a typical like diva, like, oh, I need my umbrellas thing type of thing. It was nothing huge, nothing serious. But because Doechii is a black woman, especially a darker skinned black woman, people are going to villainize her character. Any sign of strength and power, people are going to find a way to villainize it. Okay, people have even also told her that she's copied after Nicki. Now the Nicki and the Barb fans are going to be triggered too. I'm just going to put it out there, Barb's don't try to come for me. Nicki's very talented, but one pattern I've seen is anytime a new female rapper is doing their thing, there's a lot of hate. There's just a lot of hate going to that, especially if they're not a certain skin tone. That's just something I've noticed, okay? Because when Doja was out, it didn't seem like anyone had a problem, even though she took a lot from Nicki. But for some reason, Doechii has one little thing she got inspired by from Nicki, and everyone's calling her, fake it or played out or copycat. It's absolutely ridiculous. But I believe that a lot of this hate is coming from the fact that she is a darker skin tone black woman, and black women in general, especially a darker brown to darker skin, they get villainized. Their characters get rearranged, they get villainized, and if they're really talented, they hold a huge threat to the system of the hottest girl has to be this light-skinned girl, which is definitely not true. We've seen in history of darker skinned women doing amazing, like Patti LaBelle, like Whitney Houston, like Janet Jackson, okay? Like Nina Simone. So, it's this thing, but she gets the colors and the misogynoir. She gets the hate from that. Also, people call her an industry plant, trying to discredit, where she's come from, which has been clear that this girl has worked hard to gain her success. We're seeing even in her YouTube days. So she is a threat to the system. Like I said, in the hip hop industry, when it comes to female, a lot of times the lighter skinned girls are put at the forefront. They get a lot of the support and push before the brown to dark skinned girls. So she is challenging that. Being the top rap girl right now, she's challenging the whole system, and that holds a threat to what people have in their mind. So a lot of her hate is from misogynoir, is from colorism. And she doesn't deserve it because she's incredibly talented and very innovative, and what we need right now in female hip-hop, which is someone more quirky, someone more theatrical, and someone more creative and innovative. And she is that girl. She can sing, she can dance, she can perform, she has great vision, great style, and great rapping lyric skills, okay? Great flow. She's so incredibly talented. So a lot of the hate is the misogynoir, and it's sad, but I know Doechii's gonna push through because Doechii is that girl, and she's too talented to not be able to push through. So keep going, Doechii. There's so much more for you. The next artist who gets a lot of unwarranted hate is Tate McRae. Tate McRae. I feel like Tate McRae gets a lot of hate. She gets hate on her voice, on her success, how successful she is, her artistry, whether she sings good enough, whether she dances too much, whether she dances too stiff, blah, 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 blah. And even the comparisons to Britney has gotten her a lot of criticism. And the reason why this girl gets a lot of criticism, it seems to be... I don't know if you guys are noticing, but it seems like the really talented people are the ones who get a lot of hate. Part of it is her talent. The girl is an incredible dancer, an incredible performer, incredibly athletic. It is a dance style we haven't seen in a minute. It is dancing we haven't seen in a minute. Now, of course, we got Normani, but you know Normani's been kind of chill, so Tate kind of slipped in. But Tate McRae, very talented, and a lot of her the hate that she also gets is the Britney Spears comparisons. That has been rocking the Britney fan base, not in a good way. And it justified so. She shouldn't be like compared to Britney in the sense of being the next Britney. No one's ever going to be the next Britney. But because she is the type of artist that she is, a dancer, a pop star, of course she's going to get those comparisons, and she's allowed to look up to artists that came before her. Once upon a time, Britney looked up to Janet Jackson, and Janet Jackson was a huge influence for her. A lot of Britney's artistry comes from the Janet blueprint. So it's so interesting how some artists can, people have amnesia. They get mad at an artist is kind of like one artist that came before, but they don't understand that artist that came before is also looking up to another artist that came before. It's all aligned. So we can't gatekeep who gets to look up to who gets to be inspired by who. It doesn't make sense, okay? So, she gets a lot of hate for the Britney comparisons. She's also recently got hate for collaborating with Morgan Wallen, which she barely, I don't think she even promoted the song. It's #1 right now, but she's gotten hate for that decision. Now, personally, I don't think it was the best decision. Obviously, what is his name? Morgan Wallen, he's kind of weird. He's gotten some weird things, some weird isms. But I don't know if I know Tate enough to just put her there. She could have just done it just, for a hit. Because she barely promoted it, but she has a #1 hit. So I feel like it was more for the hit of it. So to me, I don't take it so seriously. I don't think it's something that I need to cancel. I'm not going to cancel her just for that. I would have to see more evidence of her character, not just a simple collab, because plenty of artists have collabed with problematic artists, okay, just for a hit. Okay, so to me, that's personally not enough. But she gets hate for that, the Britney comparisons. And again, I just feel like when anyone is being compared to an older artist of respect, they get a lot of hate just because they're being compared to them. So I think that's where a lot of her hate comes from, is kind of the triggered Britney fan base, which they have no reason to, because Tate can never replace Britney, nor is it her mission to. But she definitely gets a lot of hate and criticism. So, and I don't think she deserves it, because I think she's incredibly talented. We don't have pop stars who perform like that. So I don't even think she really deserves it at all. And I think her music is really good. A lot of people say her music is mid, but she has some really good songs. I feel like, people are kind of disrespecting her and not really giving her proper credit. But yes, this is the list of artists right now that I feel like are getting the most hate. Okay, these newer artists are getting the most hate. And it's not deserved, because they're so talented. But because of politics such as racial politics, colorism, misogynoir, fan bases, stan bases, the toxicity in the fan bases, a lot of this stuff is causing a lot of hate on artists that remind people of their favorite artists, and they're coming out later. Misogynoir, colorism, all these politics in the music industry has not only been in the music industry, but it's brainwashed the public, honestly. You guys are acting just like them. So this criticism is not warranted towards them. They do not deserve it. And they're also all these people, Doechii, Megan, Benson Boone, Tate McRae, Chloe Bailey, they are incredibly talented. So I just don't understand it. I don't even understand why we can't at least appreciate their talent, and we ask for talent so much. So tell me, guys, what do you guys think about these artists? Do you think they deserve the hate that they get? Tell me if I missed any artists, any new artists right now, modern artists that get a lot of hate that you feel like don't deserve it. Let me know in the comment section below. Also, don't forget to check out my music, okay? My music is out on Spotify, Apple Music. My artist name is Sam Dauphin. Definitely check out my music, guys. I really appreciate it, okay? It's out on all music streaming platforms. And I'll check you guys out on the next video. Thank you guys for watching.
Release the pain, yeah, that's the cure. 'Cause if you think that you